Welcome to the Songwriters Across Texas podcast. This state has a lot to offer, and music is one of its greatest exports. On this podcast, we get to know songwriters through their stories and hear some of their music. Today, we're at Arlyn Studios, and my guest is HalleyAnna. I'm Karl Anderson, and this is the Songwriters Across Texas podcast. She grew up on the San Marcos River, a river girl in a farmhouse with no AC. Her parents were Kent and Diana Finlay, who owned and ran the now infamous Cheatham Street Warehouse. Everyone in the family played instruments, including young HalleyAnna. But she didn't want any attention just because of her name. She didn't want to be shown anything. She wanted to do it herself. So she spent hours holed up in a room learning songs from tabs. She was really into Jewel, and she picked up songwriting intricacies from her. At Texas State University, HalleyAnna was in the honors program and got a degree in creative writing and focused on the works of Thoreau, Emerson, and Ken Kesey. In 2010, at the age of 24, she went to the studio in Kyle for the first time and recorded her first album. She started making a name for herself. She continued playing and writing. When she met Dustin Welch, another songwriter, the two fell in love and got married, and they play shows together often, recently at the revitalized Cheatham Street Warehouse nonetheless. Last weekend, she opened up for Bob Schneider at the Moody in Austin. She's done it her way, and she's here with us now. Is she HalleyAnna Finlay? Is she HalleyAnna Welch? Straight up HalleyAnna? She says, you can just call me Hal. Welcome to the show, HalleyAnna.
Hey, Karl. How's it going?
It's going great. Thanks so much for being here.
Hey, I like a good show that's not like 7 in the morning. We could do this
Seriously, yeah.
On our own time.
And what would you like to start us off with?
Well, I guess we were just talking about my family and everything, so I'll play a song about where I grew up. We'll get along if you've got a line down at the Getalong Ranch. Gonna have to write a song or go fishing sometime down at the Getalong Ranch. It's out in the country where you can see the stars down at the Getalong Ranch. And we don't have TVs, we've got guitars down at the Getalong Ranch. And lots of antiques and stuff that's just old down at the Getalong Ranch. And a big old fireplace for when it gets cold down at the Getalong Ranch. Peppers and tomatoes growing in the front yard down at the Getalong Ranch. And just get out in the garden when life gets hard down at the Getalong Ranch. Come in and out the rain, better wipe your feet. Supper's almost ready, hope you're ready to eat. Put a log on the fire, hear the fireplace crackle, the record player crackling too. And down at the Getalong Ranch. A mesquite from the pasture for a Christmas tree down at the Getalong Ranch. People drive by, probably think we're crazy down at the Getalong Ranch. My daddy built this house with his own 2 hands down at the Getalong Ranch. And I got stuck on the roof once while trying to get a tan down at the Getalong Ranch. Coming in and out the rain, better wipe your feet. Supper's almost ready, hope you're ready to eat. Throw a log on the fire, hear the fireplace crackle, the record player crackling too. Down at the Getalong Ranch. 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 Obviously, I made all that up. None of it's true, especially the part about getting stuck on the roof while trying to get a tan.
I like that line in particular.
I just pulled that out of nowhere. That didn't happen.
That happened to your friend, right?
Oh, I mean,
maybe.
maybe my older brother. Yeah, it was him. No, that was definitely me.
That song is so charming and lovely.
Thank you.
It really is. You're such a great writer. I love having you here. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about your life in the beginning, how you came into the Finlay. You were born into the Finlay family, a very, your father is Kent, and, really important figure in this whole music, in the whole Texas, songwriters across Texas, a lot of songwriters came out of there.
I want to take an opportunity to tell you a story. You wanted to know how I was born? Mm-hmm. Well, when a man and a woman... I'm kidding, but
I was ready for more.
Yeah.
What do they do next?
I was conceived in West Texas, outside of Big Bend National Park in Terlingua, under Halley's Comet. And for everybody out there listening, a lot of people think it is Halley's Comet, but it is Halley's Comet.
I did too, and I thought it was, and that's why when I first met you, I got your name a little confused because I was like Halley's Comet. That now I know it's Halley's Comet.
Yeah, I took astronomy in college instead of science.
Cool.
And my mom actually took the class with me because she was actually attending college for the first time while I was attending college. Crazy story. And the doc says it's Halley's Comet. So
yeah, well, good.
But tomato.
Well, also, you know what? Aleister Crowley is really Crowley.
Okay. What about?
It's a similar thing, although you're a different kind of energy than him.
Yeah, definitely.
You were conceived when the comet, that's why you're named that. That's cool.
Yeah, so it's every 72 years, right?
Yeah.
So when I make it to 72, I'll get to see that star fly in again. Hopefully we can make a little star fly before then too,
Oh,
if you keep helping me out.
We're going to have a party.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. So what was it like? You talked about a farmhouse with no AC and sleeping on couches under fans and stuff like that, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. Let's go, yeah. Those were the good old days.
Hopping in the river. Probably a lot of artists coming by the house all the time.
Absolutely. When I was born, our buddy Todd Snyder was sleeping on the couch at the time. And then, I just have memories of Terry Hendricks coming and playing at my school. And then Slade Cleaves and my dad, babysitting me, but writing Don't Tell Me It's All Right at the same time. So
wow.
I really feel like I got a really good upbringing for an aspiring musician, yeah.
You sure did. And were you getting to go into the club, too, from day one? Did it bring you in there so you were in the club the whole time?
Well, to be honest, my brother and my sister, they used to sleep on the pool tables there. But my dad had suspended Cheatham Street Warehouse ownership from 86 to 99 to pursue his songwriting career.
I see. Okay, that's a good part of this story for that, because while he was nurturing all those, he was also one himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool that he did that. So you didn't want, though, you had this thing about, man, I got a name, everyone's just already paying attention to me, I haven't even played a song yet.
Well, I know what you're getting at, and I guess I just grew up with this little bit of a stubborn personality. And so while my brother and my sister played in my dad's band, I pursued I went solo at age 8. Yeah.
Exactly. That's cool. I love it. So you hole up in your room, and you said you like Jewel a lot. That was
and
a good one.
My second favorite was, of course, Steve Poltz, because he introduced me to Jewel.
Right.
And he's a cool guy.
Yeah, he sure is.
And then
Steve Poltz.
My mom handed me a CD copy of Casey Chambers' Barricades and Brick Walls, and she really changed my life because, she's so hardcore what I want to be. I love Lucinda, but if I had to say it, Casey's got it going on too.
Yeah.
And then I got to make my second record with her dad, Bill Chambers.
Oh, wow.
In 2013.
I want to know how you got to writing, how old were you when you actually started to write songs? And that you thought were, okay, I can go play this for people.
Oh, no, those songs are... Yeah, I think I wrote a love song, and I tried to use a metaphor about blueberries and cherries, and that was, definitely by, 12, 13, 14, when, those feelings start coming out, that you fall in love and you get your heart broke. I have a lot of heartbreak songs. Yeah.
Yeah, songs often come from those kind of experiences, especially when you're young.
And my dad would always say, well, at least you can get a song out of it.
A song
Yeah.
out of it.
So then, 1999, my dad bought Cheatham Street Warehouse back. It was the great, what do you call it? It was the world was going to shut down. Y2K. Yeah, that's right. 1999 Y2K. My dad decided he was going to repurchase Cheatham Street Warehouse for the third time.
Wow.
And I had the opportunity to start opening up for people like Monty Montgomery and Terry Hendricks and Slade Cleaves and Joe Ely.
Wow.
And, it started to get really cool, like getting to grow there. And then started coming up to Austin and playing here. And David Cotton started getting me shows at Momo's and the Saxon Pub. And here we are, 10 years later, I got to play a couple of songs with Bob Schneider for his Christmas show. So I think that might be online somewhere.
That was cool that you got to do that. I think, so when you first started playing there and amongst all those people, how did you feel? Like, you had the whole thing, like, I want them to recognize me for me, and did you feel like you belonged there?
Absolutely, and I can tell you the practice was what it really was all about. And, I mean, I love Monty Montgomery. I miss him,
Right.
And those were just kind of family members for me. So it really did let me, get my feet wet and figure out what I wanted to do musically.
And get better because reps, and you're doing reps with really talented people around you. That's exactly what that room's all about.
Absolutely.
It's been really important to Texas writers for a long time, and we have yet to have a really good inside seat with that. And I'm so glad that you can tell us about what that magic was all about.
Oh yeah, I mean, really, I need to get you this footage because I bet you could do something with that class of '87 reunion. It was Bruce Robinson, Todd Snyder, Terry, Slade, my dad,
McMurtry,
and Al Barlow. Yes, definitely McMurtry. And that was a really cool thing that we did.
Yeah.
That celebration of everybody's growth. I mean, I can't wait to do the class of '99 with my buddies.
Yes, exactly. Now, are you involved in the Cheatham Street now yourself?
I mean, I'm unfortunately I'm not really around day to day, but we of course will always be associated.
You live in Lockhart.
That's
now.
right. Yeah.
That's right. Lockhart's cool. You guys got a killer thing going on out there.
Yeah, you've been there.
I know, that's what I mean. But I was like, I could see you coming out here, and like that's a good groove. And you also have your friend that had the record store. You were working in a record store over there.
Oh yeah.
That
Unfortunately, Blue Bonnet has closed down. I think they still do online sales.
Okay.
But man, we miss that so much. We need a record store in every single town.
I was going to say, like, that was part of it. I was like, damn, they got a good record store. So we had that note to self, let's get a record store back in Lockhart.
Absolutely. And then there's also two really awesome music shops. There's a Fiddler's Green, owned by Ben Hodges and his wife, Jen. And then there's also Sunflower and Friends, which is really, really just a great community place. Get lessons, get strings, support small business in a good, healthy way,
Yeah, totally. Let's move it to you're going to Texas State University.
Yeah.
Why did you choose it? What were you thinking? What was the plan there?
It was kind of funny. My dad was really suggesting that I go to Sol Ross and Alpine. And get out west in the country a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And I stuck with San Marcos just because I really still wanted to be around family, and I'm glad that I did.
Good.
They had a great program that I got into and was lucky enough to get accepted into the honors program at Texas State. It's not really about your GPA. It's kind of about your personality.
Uh-huh.
And so I got to take some really cool classes, like introducing a lot of the transcendental writers of the American culture and history. And we got all the way down to like Ken Kesey, and I remember going home and saying, "Dad, how come you never told me about all that? The electric Kool-Aid acid test. I'm learning about this in college and getting an A. Okay,
Yeah, exactly. I just loved that Kesey was next to Emerson and Thoreau.
Yeah, so cool, right?
Yeah, I mean that was like when you told me that I was like, "What? You had a class like that focused like that?" Because Cuckoo's Nest was the book I read when I was 19 that got me into reading.
Yeah. Well, I think if anybody out there is listening and they're considering where they want to attend university in the fall, please consider Texas State.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Southern Connecticut State University in New Haven. It was, I tell people, I go, I went to college in New Haven. Southern Connecticut State, but take it easy. Not Yale. But we would go crash parties at Yale. But also, my school had the killer theater department, and I got to really engage in it. And if I was lost in the Yale big machine, I wouldn't have had the experience I had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and look at you now. I mean, look at where we're at.
Exactly. And all those experiences that lead you to here. So how does this segue? Is this segue into your second song?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to take a sip of water and tell you about this. I came home. I told my dad, hey, I don't know why you didn't tell me about all of this that I'm learning from my professors at school. And Dad had his master's degree also.
Uh-huh.
And so we wrote a song about the summer of love. And that's what I'm going to play for y'all next.
Oh, great.
I have to admit, it's been a long time, but once in a while you still cross my mind like an old song stuck in my head. I've tried to forget it, but I sing it instead. Those rose-colored memories flow through my mind like autumn leaves, and I'm still in Haight, Ashbury, but you've moved on ahead. Strawberry wine, gypsy clothes, this is the season that everyone knows. Get on the bus, see where it goes, set that spirit free. Out all night, sleep till noon, wake up on a couch in the living room. Don't say that you're leaving soon, no, say you'll stay with me. I have to admit that it's been a long time, but once in a while you still cross my mind like an old song stuck in my head. I try to forget it, but I sing it instead. Those rose-colored memories flow through my mind like autumn leaves, and I'm still in Haight, Ashbury, but you've moved on ahead. That was back when we were playing it cool. Neither of us felt like we were playing the fool. Everybody knew it was the summer of love, and everybody knew it would end. Still, that was so many years ago, and me, I'm still living in San Francisco, wondering where you went and why you had to go, and if I'll ever see you again. I have to admit that it's been a long time, but once in a while you still cross my mind like an old song stuck in my head. I've tried to forget it, but I sing it instead. Those rose-colored memories flow through my mind like autumn leaves, and I'm still in Haight, Ashbury, but you've moved on ahead. Oh, I'm still in Haight, Ashbury, but you've moved on ahead.
Yes.
All right.
That was a co-write with your dad?
Yeah.
Did you do a lot of co-writes with him?
Actually, I was pretty stubborn, like we mentioned earlier, so we only wrote 2 songs together.
Right. That's what I thought. That's what we said.
But,
yeah.
you know, as far as my dad is concerned, I don't know. I have to think about... He was always the person I would take my songs to first. So I guess you could technically say a lot of songs had his stamp of approval before I played them out in public. And that's what Songwriters Circle was all about and still is. Taking your new songs and kind of sharing them with a group of people that know songwriting. Just in case somebody, has to tweak it.
Yeah, totally. But also, like, you get good ideas from people that play. Or I heard
Believe it or not, I know. And after COVID, like, getting out to hear some new music right now is so my muse. It's great. It's just making me want to write more and more.
That's cool. Yeah. How does the songwriting process work for you? Do you have a particular thing? Do you have tricks that you can do to...
People ask me this question, and it's like, hey, man, I can't give it away.
Oh, okay.
But I will tell you that this actually came up in conversation earlier. And I guess what I could say is, if I can't get a song written in one session, I kind of put it away for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, and so it's hard for me because this morning I woke up and I said, oh, only want to shine like you. I've got to finish that song. But it's been over a year because I didn't write it in one sitting.
Right.
So it's in a pocket somewhere.
I understand that as a writer where you get an idea and you work on something and there's something good about it, so you just put it down and it's not talking to you anymore. And then it takes a year and then it goes, hey, remember me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
I love that about the creative process of writing.
Thank God for like voice recorders too. I mean, seriously. You said we were going to talk about God today. I'm going to say the fact that I can turn on my phone and record a song that I don't have time to even, you're in the car and you're just like, I'm not allowed to do this. Okay, just so you can record what's going on.
Right, technology itself is such a cool thing.
Oh, yeah, my dad used to have a tape deck that could record and, what if you accidentally record over that tape?
Which happened all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would, you could pop out the little thing and then you couldn't record over it. Right. There was a little piece of plastic that you could, and so like there were certain tapes that I was like, I was like, no one better erase this. Like I'd write notes because I had 5 brothers and sisters.
Oh yeah. Okay, my dad too. He was one of 5, and you're one of 6.
Yeah, well,
that's a big family.
It was 2 families combined, but and a lot of energy, fun, good stuff. So you made your first record in 2010, and then in 2013. You get back in the studio.
I took those tracks down to the Woodshed studio, which is no longer in operation, but got to work with Russell Tanner, and he was a great engineer for my dad's studio for a very long time.
Cool.
And having Bill and Michael Mukow from Australia, and just cutting it live, we got it done in 4 days.
Wow.
So that's cool.
Holy smokes.
I know.
That's amazing. And did you get some airplay out of it?
I did. Yeah, I think there's a couple of people up in Oklahoma that still love me, and definitely KGSR, and obviously, I don't know if I can say this, Sun Radio.
Yes.
And
we give love out to everybody. I love Sun Radio.
Yeah, and Coach and Roger out at the Wimberley Public Radio Station. So, yeah, I was pretty pleased to see my name on some charts. Yeah, definitely.
I bet. When did you meet Dustin?
I don't know. Dustin's been
I'm gonna ask
in my
him when
world.
he comes in.
Yeah, he's been in my world for a long time. Obviously, my radio promoter is Jenny Finlay with Jenny Finlay Promotions, and Dustin was one of her clients as well.
Dustin Welch.
So I believe that I know that when they opened the Moody Theater, I got to lay eyes on him and take a group picture, and that was really cool. And then at Folk Alliance, when it was still held in Memphis, I believe it was 2012 or 2013, he and Little McMurtry and I were on the same elevator. So Curtis and Dustin and I took a picture together because that's kind of like 3 legendary,
Yeah, that's a great picture.
Yeah.
And that's right, because Dustin's father is Kevin Welch and his sister Savannah Welch. So they've got these this family, like your family. And that's so interesting that you both had these like epic music families and then found each other.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? I think it's Kevin's responsibility. I mean, Kevin and I played the Delbert McClinton cruise, and he went home and told Dustin, like, HalleyAnna was so good. He did. And then Dustin got like kind of interested in what was going on. So, thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, well, let's talk about how the songwriting circles are coming back at Cheatham Street. Oh,
yeah. So, gosh, my brother has, recovered from his heart transplant from 2017. And he has taken the main role in hosting Songwriters Circle at Cheatham Street, which the list goes out at 8. It starts at 9. Everybody's focused on actually listening to the artists and learning, and the other part is it's no cover because you've got to come with a song. So that is the compensation. So,
yeah. That's cool. Yeah, we went the other day, and I was thrilled at the energy, the talent. I'm so happy that, the world got crazy, COVID, everything got shut down, no one knew when, the world starts picking back up, and when I was in there the other night watching y'all doing that thing, I was like, okay, thank you, God.
Yeah. I mean, it was a treat to get to see our friends from Australia, the Weeping Willows.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
we had missed them for a couple of years there. And it kind of felt like we were never going to pull ourselves out. But I'm so glad that music's coming back and we can go out. And I have a shirt that says, I miss hugs and live music. Part of that is true.
Awesome. Well, I guess we can go and get into this third song.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess I'm going to play my newest song because that just feels relevant. It's it's about a really beautiful place in West Texas, Balmorhea. Girl, I can tell you're hurting, there ain't nothing I could say. I'd drive you to West Texas, to that pool in Balmorhea. We'll go swimming with those fish and watch the children jump and play. Let me take you out to Balmorhea, 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 Balmorhea. Used to see you sitting out so pretty with your feet at water's edge. But lately it's been looking like you're dangling off the ledge. Get on back, take it easy, let me know what I could do. I'll take you out at sunrise, drive you on and take you to Balmorhea, 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 Balmorhea. Girl, I can tell you're hurting, there ain't nothing I could say. I'd drive you to West Texas, to that pool in Balmorhea. We'll go swimming with those fish and watch the children jump and play. Let me take you out to Balmorhea.
I like to wait until the very last ring of that last note.
Hey, most people that know what they're doing, they do too.
Thank you so much for coming here.
Carl, thank you so much. And everybody that's with songwriters across Texas. This has been such an opportunity for us.
Thank you, our great team here and everybody. We're just so grateful to be able to do this here at Arlyn.
Yeah, we'll come do another one soon.
Hell yeah. Do we have a website to promote?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be HalleyAnna.com. So H-A double hockey sticks, EYANNA.
.com.
I believe, yeah.
HalleyAnna, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, please.